All right, this is another video in the video series that we're calling Canvas. I still don't get it. Remember, these are a little bit longer videos than our normal how-to. We explain things a little slower at a very basic level so that hopefully we can catch any experience level or any level of technology user here. So just have that in mind that it is a little bit longer. So this one in particular is called Buttons and Banners. How do I make cute stuff? We're going to focus primarily on buttons, though along the way, I'll show you where you can find banners. Typically, banners are only used in one spot at the top of your homepage, although you can add them to any page you'd like to in Canvas. Buttons are probably the most used piece in this throughout Canvas. So I want to talk first about why use buttons, and I don't have that on this page here, but I'll just talk it through. Buttons provide a little bit of personalization, some color, and a lot of times too, it helps with students who are low readers or ELL students who are still learning English. And so it helps them look for images or colors or shapes and where they need to click to where they need to go. The first thing that comes to mind here, obviously, is for the elementary, the younger kids, but can be a big help too for some of our older kids too, depending on their situation. And like I said, on top of that, it just kind of makes it visually appealing. Just like you take time to personalize and decorate your physical classroom, this is a great opportunity to personalize and make your virtual classroom visually appealing. So next thing we want to look at is what is a button? All a button is an image with a link. That's it. It can be any image that you want it to be. There is no special kind or specific type of image you have to make it a button. It can be whatever you want to be. If you want to find something on the internet, if you want to make something, if you just want to take a picture of something, that doesn't matter. If it's an image and it's saved somewhere on the device you're working on and you can upload it, it'll work. Buttons can also be just text. Just like in Google, you can link things to text, and that works as a button as well. So down here, I have 3 different buttons that I'm going to work through here and show you how we made each one of these. This first one here, I actually made on Canva, but it would be something that you could find in tons of other places too. And it's, like I said, just an image, and I've linked it to another page here in Canvas. So when I click on that, it's going to take me to another page, whatever this page you might want. I linked it to my daily kind of schedule here. The middle one example on this page back here is an example of using a text as a button. I just called this one Online Dictionary, and I linked it to dictionary.com. So it was pretty simple, and I'll show you how to do that. The last example is just a picture of CJHS that I stood outside and took. Snapped the picture, made sure I emailed to myself or put it in Drive or however, and got it to my device, whatever way you like to get images to your device. Downloaded it, put it here on my page, and for this example, I actually went ahead and linked it to the CJHS school website. So just as an example, I can link things from within Canvas. This one was linked to another page, and these two were examples of links outside of Canvas. So I think the important thing to start with when you're thinking about buttons is kind of plotting it out on the page. Before you go looking for the buttons, think about what buttons you want and what you want them to look like or be. So I'm going to start there. I'm on my Pages tab. I'm actually going to hit View All Pages, and so I'm viewing this one. I have an example page called Example Buttons that I'm going to use. It's blank to start with. If we're talking about a home page or any place you're going to put multiple buttons, it's best practice in Canvas to use a table. By inserting a table with the cells, it just helps keep the images in line a little bit. It helps with spacing, and sometimes it helps with size as well. So wherever your flashing cursor is where your table is going to go, or whatever, if we insert a button right in there. So I'm going to give myself some room. I'm going to go down, and then what I like to do, so here's my flashing cursor, I like to center align it right from the get-go. Sometimes it just makes it easier. So it's right there. Now I'm going to insert my table. And I like to use, there's a couple different ways you can insert a table. I like to just come to Table, hover over the word table, and then I can hover over the number of cells and the arrangement of the cells that I want. So I'm just going to do a simple line of 4. When your table comes in, don't worry too much about the spacing just yet. When we get the images in there to make buttons, then we'll play around with the alignment within there, the spacing, and the size. But what might not be a bad idea is to kind of label what button you want where. So maybe this is going to be my home page, and I'm going to call this one classwork. Maybe this one is resources. This is not a required step. I just think it's nice to have this. That way when if I get interrupted in the middle and I have to come back, I remember what I wanted where. I don't even know. What if we call this one parent resources, and maybe this one is helpful videos. It doesn't matter. This part's not important as far as my example goes. You will put whatever buttons you're wanting in there. Now that I have that, I can start going to look for what I want to go there. Some teachers do days of the week. Some teachers will do units, like have a button for each unit, whatever you are looking for here. The first stop I want to make on our button adventure here is on our digital learning site. On the home page, there is a Canvas support button, how fitting, right there in the middle. If you click on that and find additional resources, we actually have a shared folder with buttons made by, some of them made by Kelly, some of them are made by other teachers. I know people have been sharing their buttons in here, so there's a button right there to go to this shared folder. In here, you're going to find a bunch of different images. There's some down here with days of the weeks and colors. There's some with the Minutemen head on it with the units. If you come up a little bit more, there's some of these. Any of them that are made in Google Slides, you can edit, and we'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Any of them that are images, like JPEG or have that little mountain image option, they are not easily editable. Meaning if you like the colors of these circles right here, you can't really change these words because it's an image file. It's not an editable file. I know there is an example down here. So you have these Minutemen units, and there is a blank one right there that you could pull this blank template into an editing software like Canva or like Google Slides, and add your own word or image, whatever you want right there. And we'll talk about that. But know that any of these images here with these words, that you can't, what you see is what you get. You can't really edit those. Here, this button right here that goes to Canvas buttons. I'm going to use that word a lot in this, I just know it. These are built by a lot of teachers. I know one is Melissa Maury over at CIS. Thanks, Melissa, for uploading this and sharing a lot of it. You can click through here. There's different ones through here. You can go into these folders. If you find buttons that you like, you just need to download them. So you can click on them. You can open them all the way up if you want to, or just click once to turn it blue. Right click and download. And then it's downloading back here. There it goes. And you can go through and download the ones you want. Make sure they are downloaded. I think this is a good time to mention, I have found that it's a little easier to download and do this on your ThinkPad than it is on your Chromebook. It's doable on your Chromebook. So if you're a fan of using your Chromebook over your ThinkPad, you can do it. I've just found it's a little bit easier sometimes in different formats to use your ThinkPad. So you have that option, and we've downloaded them, and we'll come back to what we do when we download them once we get done looking at our buttons. But this is an option. Remember, that was on our homepage. There's a Canvas support, and then additional resources. You'll find that folder full of them. The next option that you have, if you'd like to create your own, one basic way of doing that is creating them on Google Slides. So if I come here to Google Slides, I can insert an image right on the page that I want, or a popular way to do this is just add a shape. Come to the little shape thing, and I can add shape here, and I can decorate it how I want to. So I can change the background color. Let's go with red. So we got that shape, and then maybe I want to add a text box, and I want to type into it. So maybe this is about to be my parent resource one. Of course, you can get as fancy with your text and all that. I feel like a lot of people know how to do font and things within Google Slides. So you can kind of play around with that. And the same thing would go if you pull an image in there. I think a lot of us know how to pull an image into Google Slides. If you don't, let us know, and we'll totally help you with that. I won't go into that far detail here, but I can, build them on Google Slides, and I can add another slide. Usually just get rid of this stuff. I could have brought in a blank one. And I can add other shapes. The other thing I can do if I like this and I just want to keep going, maybe change the color and the words. If I duplicate, I've right clicked. If I duplicate this slide, I can actually get another one, and then I can just change the words. Maybe this one needs to be classwork, and I want to change the color. So I click on it, find my bucket, change it. So you can kind of see how you can do that. Once you get to this point, you have a couple of options. The first one that you have is you can screenshot. So I can well, that's not screenshot. I can use my snipping tool and I can screenshot that, or I can file and I can download the current slide as a JPEG. So I can download that slide. I probably should have made that a little bit bigger, or I just kind of snip that and take a screenshot of it and download it. And I've got it. So I can use Google Slides to build my buttons. A very popular one is Canva. In Canva, when you log in with Google. If you have never logged into Canva before, we'll want to set you up on the free version so you get all of the features for free because you're an educator. I've already been through it on mine, so I can't show it, but I'll describe it. You see these tabs right up here. If you've never been in before, you'll have one that says pricing. If you just hover over the pricing one and then it'll say like education right here, click on education and then look for the purple button that says sign up now and get yourself all signed up for a free version. If you want help with that, Kelly and I can totally stop by or walk you through that. But once you're in here to Canva, you have a lot of options, and this can be a little bit of a rabbit hole that you go down depending on how detailed you want to get. For buttons, we like to start with this create a design, and we like to use the logo option over here because it gives us the right dimensions. So you just click on logo, and it'll give you a white square here in the middle. That's kind of a good size for buttons. Over here on the left is where you get to start picking, and there are so many options in here. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming depending. If you want to do something with just shapes, kind of like we did with the Google Slides, you can come down to shapes, or you can type in shapes, or there's even a shapes button right there. You can find the shape that you want and just drag it over there. For something like this, we usually suggest you pull the corners up to and kind of take up the whole space here. All right. This is gray right now, which may not be the color that I want, but if I click this little gray box is how I can change the color of it. So I'm gonna put that in there, and then I can add my text. There's, again, a ton of text options. There's just some basic ones up here at the top, and there's some more fun ones down through here. I can insert that. I can change the color of that text too by the little text icon right there. So maybe I want this one to be my classwork one. I want to do that. To add another one, I just hit add page. And maybe I want to do some more like clip art type picture things instead. If I use this element one again and I clear this out, there's a lot of different options down through here. So you can just scroll down through and see if you've got something specific. Different people were doing like flowers, butterflies. For my example, you could do sports. I did camping. So if I type in camping there, I get all these different kind of little camping options. I can pull that cute little camper over there, stretch him out as big as I can get him. It's okay if it doesn't go the whole size, but you can totally play around with with all of this. There's a lot of options, and this is where a lot of people end up spending a lot of their time because there's just so many options, and it's really kind of cool. So, but once you kind of get the ones you want, then you're going to come up to download. Now, if you are on a Chromebook, if you download multiple pages, so like I have 2 right here, it's going to put it in a zip file. This is where I said sometimes it's easier to do it on your ThinkPad. But oh, one other thing, this transparent background, I like to use that because it takes that white background out of it. Now, it's not a huge deal because Canvas page is white too, so you don't really see it. But I usually do the transparent background, then it'll just be the whatever I've put in the middle. Okay, so back to downloading. Right now I have 2 pages, so when I download this, it's going to download both of them in a zip file, which again, on my ThinkPad isn't a huge deal. On my Chromebook, it will be a big deal. So what I might do is click on this select pages, and you might have to scroll down to see that, and unselect all of them and maybe do them one at a time. So I might do that one, done, and download, and then let that go. Oh, wonderful, it's good to go. And click the X, I don't need that. And then I might download page 2 on its own. And download. And great, it downloaded it again. Perfect. So I've got those downloads. So that's a quick, a very fast, quick and easy way to do it in Canva. Of course, if you want more on that or you want a little more help, let us know. We're both big fans of Canva. We got no problem playing around there with you. The last place, there's not the last place, but the last place we will talk about today on finding buttons is in the Canvas Commons. Remember that when you're logged into Canvas at any time, down here on the left is the Commons button. Remember that we've talked about the Commons is a place where you can search all types of stuff. Any little piece or big piece of Canvas, you can search for people who have shared. So if I click on this filter thing, you can see I can search for an entire course, module, assignment, quiz. I mean, you can see all that, and then I can even filter it down even lower. So maybe I'm just going to simply search for buttons, and I'm going to change the filter to images, because buttons are just images. So I want to filter it down. And I'm going to find a ton of different things in here. So I might just look for a button or an image that I want as a button. Goodness, these are not really what I was looking for. So I just do this one right here, a little think about. Come on. So I want that little thought bubble for whatever reason. I can go to import, and I just find the class that I want it to go into. So I'm using my model course and import the course, and it'll send it right there. Now let's take a look at how to put those buttons in. So if I go back to my tab with my table in it, and I've downloaded them all. So I'm just going to go to classwork. I'm going to take out the words because I don't really need them, or I might keep them. It just depends. But at any rate, no matter what, I'm going to have my flashing cursor there. I'm going to come up to this little image looking icon, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to do upload image. And click on the rocket ship. And then just like anything else, I'm going to go find the button that I want. So I'll just pull in this classwork one, open, there it is, and it's good to go. Might take a second. And then upload again, click on the rocket ship, click the next one that I want. And I can just keep going through and doing that with any of them. And there it is. I think the last step would be to, if you want to link things, click on the button you want, find the link here. If it's an external link, meaning something outside of the district, you'll go grab that link for that, like when I did the school website or I did dictionary.com. If it's a course link, it'll be inside the district. So I click on that, inside of Canvas, and I find the, whatever I want to link. If I want to link an assignment to it, a quiz, just a page. I think in here I just have pages. So I'll just link one of those. It flashes yellow. I'm good to go. There'll be other videos to talk about different pieces of this, but I really just wanted to click you through the different options you have on creating buttons. This is not the only options. I know a lot of teachers go to Teachers Pay Teachers, to go to Pinterest. There are tons of different ways to make your buttons. The biggest thing to know on making your buttons, just make sure they're downloaded to your device. That way you can upload them. Again, I know this was a little longer. Oh, don't forget to push save, sorry. A little longer, but hopefully you kind of get an idea of what a button is and where you can go to kind of find them and start either creating or find ones that you like. Don't forget, we're here to help in any way you need. Good luck.